Conducting an FMEA is not a hazard identification. It's not risk management either. It's a risk analysis tool that starts with a bottom up approach. What are all the components of my device and how can they fail? And what will that result in terms of hazards, harms, and risks? But we're going to be conducting a webinar on August 29th that explains how to do a proper hazard identification. How to identify all the hazards, not using just a bottom-up approach, seeing how components will fail, but using a comprehensive approach. So number one tool that you would use, you could use that bottom-up approach from component failures. That's one way you could do it. You also have a guidance document, 24971, 2020, that has 37 questions that you can answer that will help you identify additional hazards. In addition to that, there are risk categories in Annex C of 14971. There are also previous generations of your device if you have a previous generation of your device. If you have a software device, there's actually a standard out there that has 6 pages of tables identifying potential hazards associated with software. And a lot of companies come to me with just a short little list of 4 or 5 possible hazards, not 6 pages of them. And that's already in a guidance document. All the work's been done for you. You just have to decide which ones are applicable to your product. And yes, now we're starting to get requirements for security documentation, cybersecurity documentation in your submissions. So you're going to have to do a threat analysis. You're going to have to identify your security assets. You're going to have to identify your security threats. What are your characteristics of that security system? And you're going to have to test for vulnerabilities. Those are other sources of potential hazards. And yes, you're going to do a traditional post-market surveillance process, but have you learned how to do a search for known use errors? Because you're going to have to identify hazards associated with use of your device as well. So all of these are going to be covered in this webinar on how to do a proper hazard identification. And it's August 29th at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time. And a link is provided down below in the description for this video explaining where you can register for the webinar. Hope to see you there on August 29th and have a great day.